There's a song that Mariah Carey came out with, I think back in 2009 or 2010, called Obsessed. And literally the first lines of the song of her is saying, "Why are you so obsessed with me?" This video in which you're about to see is the epitome of that. Every Black History Month, there has to be a group of these palm colored semen stains, these dried up pieces of bird dookie that literally go out of their way to show their worst side, which could probably be any day. It doesn't have to necessarily be a day in Black History Month, but they really go out of their way to show their unnatural ass. So this is a video from a school called St. Hubert's and Franklin Town in Northeast Philly, where these white girls, white young women, your future Karens of the world, who decided that it would be a good idea to spray paint this dark spray paint or whatever she's spraying is on this girl's face while yelling out these obscenities. I'm just going to let the whole thing play through and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
You're a black girl. You know your roots. It's February.
Your mom is never letting anyone in.
You're nothing but a slave. And after this, you're doing my laundry.
The way she just takes this shit, bro.
I'm black and I'm proud.
My mom just texted me.
So you just heard that and you saw that. So you have this one right here in the red, literally spray painting. I'm guessing that's her friend with this black spray paint, which definitely cannot be safe at all. But you know what? In this case, I'm willing to make an exception. If this woman was to, I don't know, keel over from spray paint poisoning, I guess in the words of Rob at Blacklight Revelations, the world will most definitely be correct. I don't think the earth will shift its axis in order to accommodate her any longer. It's too bad that her eyes weren't open when she was spraying this spray paint in her face, because, you know, if her eye sockets were just to happen to bleed and her eyeballs would have fall out of said sockets, then, you know, hey, she bought it on herself. But you heard what this one right here was saying as she was spray painting this chick's face. She says it's Black History Month. Go to your room. You're not a slave anymore. This, that, and the third. And I think one of the girls that was recording it was saying that this was racist. It was kind of hard to make out a little bit because she was laughing as she was talking. But the fact that she even said that, if that's what she said, lets you know that they are well aware of what they are doing. They are fully well aware of what it is that they are doing. No longer can they say, "Oh, I didn't know this. Oh, I didn't know that." That is a bunch of crap. They are old enough to know, and they're doing it right now. And then you fast forward to the end right here where she says, I'm black and I'm proud. I bet she wishes that she could say, "I'm white and I'm proud." The fact that she went and said, "I'm black and I'm proud," while mimicking and mocking black people just shows you how much little pride she has for herself. That's a lot of self-hate she has as far as I'm concerned. That's fine. Because if I was a PC individual, I wouldn't go around yelling that I'm white and I'm proud either. Let me tell y'all something. This is how they act when they are not around us. The ones that work with you, the ones that go to school with you, the ones that think they're so buddy, when they go home, that's what most of them are doing. I'm taking the gloves off. I don't care. People can say, "Oh, that's not all of them," or "That's not most of them." That's BS. That's crap. We have seen too many examples where we can no longer say it's just some. And they look like they were born in the early 2000s. So we can't say, "Oh, this is just a generational thing." Oh, with the old generation, when they go, then the new generation is going to, let this all die off. Does this look like do they look like were born in the 50s or the 60s or even the 70s? These little bitches, yeah, I said it, are younger than me. They were born in the 2000s. This is their mindset and it carries over. When I say not far removed from their ancestry, this is another example of what I mean by that. Because what they're doing right here is exactly what their ancestors used to do. Where do you think they got this from? This is going back to the minstrel show, the vaudeville shows, Blackface, Birth of a Nation, the D.W. Griffith version. That's all this is. And well, we're not blind, but these are young PC women doing this. Not shocked by that either. And nor should anyone else be. Black people are just going to have to come to grips and accept that this is just who they are. If y'all have already accepted it, hey, it is what it is. I know a lot of people are scared to call this out, but I'm not. And the fact of the matter is, it needs to be way more. Maybe if we call it out more, that could be a stepping stone going forward. That's one thing that's keeping us staying at square one. We don't know how to call out these individuals properly. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to them. I know what should happen to them. I'm not going to say it on here, but I know what should happen to them. And see, the thing is, they can't use the excuse, oh, it's Halloween. Halloween's in October. All the way in the fourth quarter. We are still in the first quarter of 2023. You can't use that as an excuse, but they do this every single year. First, it was that whack Black History Month van or truck down in Miami, that police cruiser. And now this, and I'm very sure there's more. As a matter of fact, there is more, because I think there was some school that they said they served waffles, chicken, and watermelon for some Black History Month program. They do that every year. Every time there's Black History Month rolls around, they do what they did in this video. They do the watermelon and chicken thing. That cruiser, that one's a brand new one. I never seen that one before. Or they do the mock slave auction. I'm recording this on February 8th, 2023. We got a couple more weeks to go left in this month. I'm curious if they're going to do the mock slave auction thing, because I remember they did that. Was it last year? I think it was last year when they did that. Every year. We just mind our business, and they cannot keep their nose out of ours. I hear a lot of Black people say we need to separate. Here's the thing. Mentally, I think many of us can definitely separate from them. It's the physical part that is the problem. Mentally, they can't separate from us. Because then, if they could, why is this going on? But if we call this out, we will be called sensitive. We will be saying, "Oh, you're looking too much into this. It's not that deep." That's easy for you to say when you're not the one being mocked. And I think what also gets me is when she said, "I'm Black and I'm proud." That's a very iconic, not only saying, but it's a very iconic song from one of our icons. So not only was she mocking a common phrase that many Black people used to say back in the day, because it was at a time when Black was made to be seen as ugly and inferior and negative and dark. But that's also spitting in the face and on the grave of one of the most iconic musicians of all time, artists of all time, the godfather of soul, James Brown. So that's disrespectful to him. When he came out with that song, that was a huge anthem for Black people back in the day. And it's perfect because if I got my dates right, I believe that's right around the time of the Black Panther Party and the Black Panther movement was going on around that time. So it fit perfectly when Black people were really starting to embrace their natural selves at a time when it wasn't seen as acceptable. And you got these bitches literally making a mockery of it. But dare we make a mockery of anything tied to them? then will be seen as anti-white. Yet you got people like Mark Dice, I'm not holding back today, online talking about there's a war on white people. If you don't get the... You know what? There's actually more to this. This isn't the only video. There's another video I'm going to show y'all. Hold on. Now, here's another video right here. I'm not sure if this is tied to the video that y'all just saw, but I'm going to read the caption first. She says, so who's going to get their friend before I slap the bullshit out of her? White girls might as well screen record because I know y'all going to show her white ass anyway. SMH raps for you, sis. And they put a crying laughing emoji. Now, this is only 3 seconds long. Listen to what she says. And she got a pink do-rag on.
I got the do-rag on. I got the power to say nigga.
Y'all heard that. I got the do-rag on. I got the power to say nigga. So that's all it takes now. Put a do-rag on and all of a sudden you got your N-word pass. This is why I did that bed bucking video on Kai Cenat recently. For those of you who missed it, the reason why I did one on him is because he allowed this white girl or this white woman to say nigga in his video or on his Twitch stream. And I said, y'all making it too comfortable. And now a couple days later, what do you see? This palm colored semen stain from Palmdale puts on a pink do-rag, a Pepto-Bismol out do-rag, and says, I have a do-rag on, I got the power to say nigga. That's all it took. Apparently, that's all it is. Again, I don't know if this is tied to the previous video. All I did was I scrolled down and this was in the thread where the video that y'all just looked at was at on Twitter. I keep telling y'all, this is who they are. This is who they are. This is who they were born to be. This is who they will be through life, all the way until they have that casket closed on them and buried 6 feet into the ground and the dirt is thrown on top of them. And then if they have kids, most likely, you would hope not, but most likely, as it seems with them, their kids are going to carry that mantle. Dying out with the old generation, my black ass. Again, all of these female, and again, notice another thing, white female. They be the worst ones because they be the sneaky ones. These heifers got pretty much all access to affirmative action, something that was supposed to be set aside for black people, especially black men, and they came and snatched that away. They want to claim minority status because they're white women. I wouldn't know, not by the way those exit polls look when it came to 45 back in 2016. They look pretty majority to me. Those in charge of the suffrage and the feminist movement, first, second, and third wave feminism. So when you take all of that into consideration and you look at this, are you surprised? Because I'm not. Then you got black men that will praise people like them, giving them N-word passes. You got black women that'll align themselves with them to take down and break up the nuclear black family and a host and gang of other things. Meanwhile, they get to go home to their families, their nuclear family. And what are you left holding? The bag filled with dust. But this is who they are. I can't stress that enough. I can't stress it enough at all. Like I said, we be minding our business, doing our own thing. And then this is how they love to come at us every chance they get, every single time. Again, we cannot hang our head on the thing of, it's just some. It's past some now. When you see stuff like this, you got to almost assume that that's how many of them are. Of course, they're not going to show you this to your face unless they are that bold to do so. But behind closed doors, which is what all of these females was doing, you got to assume that's just who they are. But the bold part is that they put it online. Like no one's going to check them. And then if you do that and expose them and say like they get kicked out of school or they get fired from a job, then they make it seem like you're the bad guy. So we're supposed to just let this slide. According to them, we are supposed to. Because historically, that's what they want. When they say make America great again, they want to go back to, this is just a fraction of what they want to go back to. Just a fraction. Just a little piece, a little swivel. But I think I pretty much got out everything I needed to say as it pertains to this. Unless there's some more information, I'll add it in. Well, it looks like I spoke too soon because apparently there is some additional information here. I'm guessing this is the administration or some of the people that's part or tied to that school. And I can tell that this is Philly because I recognize that 215 area code anywhere. But this is the number, I guess, for people to reach out to them. They said that this Patricia person is the assistant principal. This Gina individual is the principal. This Liz Ann person is the president. And this Eric is the assistant principal. So those are their numbers right there. Screenshot if you need to. Their emails, phone numbers, all of that good stuff. Y'all know what needs to be done.